After a surprisingly close race, Democratic House candidate Adam Frisch conceded to Representative Boebert in a video call on Friday, sending Boebert back to Congress for a second term and solidifying the GOP's majority in the chamber. Frisch said he personally called Boebert to concede, even with the possibility of a mandatory recount. As of Friday, Boebert led the race by only 551 votes, according to the Associated Press. Frisch condemned Democrats in his remarks, saying they've, quote, abandoned rural Americans.
Good morning. There's never been a more humbling moment in my life. I'm tremendously thankful for the love and support that came from every corner of our district and from across our nation, to the county party chairs and election workers across the district, to the volunteers, the donors, our staff and interns, our friends and community and across the country. Thank you. Most importantly, a humble thank you to the voters in our beautiful district of CD3. Democrats, Republicans, and Independents. Our plan from the very start was to build a tripartisan coalition, and we did that in the face of deep national skepticism that we could do this. Thank you most importantly to my family. Thank you all for working with me every step of the way. I'm particularly proud of my family, my son Felix for his maturity and focus and passion for politics and wisdom beyond his years. My daughter Quintessa for her unwavering support of the long and drawn-out process and countless volunteer hours with postcards, phone calls, and door knocking. And finally, my wife Katie for being my partner in the organizing and strategic force behind the scenes and keeping all aspects of our life together. We are a stronger family as a result of this journey. We faced an incredible uphill election, from a very close primary to a general where very few thought we had any chance of even coming close. And we showed the country what Western and Southern Colorado can do. I love this great country. My grandparents emigrated from Europe to pursue the American dream, starting a feed store and small grocery store in the Iron Range of northern Minnesota. The feed store is a fourth-generation family business currently run by my cousin. I spent the first few years of my life on Fort Peck Reservation in northeastern Montana, then Minneapolis for my school years, and moved to Colorado for college. I pursued a successful career in international business and settled on the beautiful western slope of Colorado, where my wife and I raised a family and became active in community service and local government. We decided to run for Congress because I saw the needs of the district being ignored. We have shown the country that extremist politicians can be defeated. Loud voices are not invincible, and shouting will not solve problems. We do not have to let hate win, but we can come together and talk about issues that are important to our individual lives and our communities. We have more in common than we differ. Our great country must get back to normalcy. I heard time and time again on the campaign trail, America is tired of the circus, tired of the lack of respect for our institutions and our democracy, and tired of the lack of civility in our discourse. Most importantly, folks in Western and Southern Colorado are tired of the lack of a serious representative, of having representation that is more interested in self-promotion through the entertainment industry. We ran an ethical campaign with a focus on issues and only criticized our opponent for not doing her job. We didn't sling mud or make up stories. A good friend wrote to me before the election and told me we took America back to a time when love of country, when ethics, when duty and responsible behavior, when intelligence, respect for facts actually was the majority of our citizens live their lives. We showed the country you can work to convince voters based on job performance and a focus on issues, and succeed in doing so. We certainly hope this will be a model for our great country going forward. Additionally, we told the country that the urban and rural divide plaguing the Democratic Party over the past decades needs to stop. In 1996, President Bill Clinton won over 50% of the rural counties in the country. In 2008, President Obama won 25% of those counties. But in 2020, President Joe Biden won fewer than 10% of the rural counties in our great country. The Democratic Party has slowly but surely eroded the trust of rural and working class Americans. Denver and DC politicians need to demonstrate an understanding of the issues that face rural America, working class America, and celebrate, not disrespect, folks across the country. Our district is one that President Trump won by over 15% in 2016. Only a quarter of our district is registered Democrats, yet we were able to move the needle and show that the country is listening and understanding makes a difference. Monopolies are bad in business and they're bad in politics as well. Democrats have abandoned rural America and working class America for the last many years. Republicans have had a monopoly on the backbone of this country. We must not let this continue. Every party should be investing in every corner of America. The voters have spoken, and while we showed great progress, I remain down by a few hundred votes. This small margin triggers an automatic recount in Colorado's election system. This recount is what Colorado voters have asked for in order to maintain trust in the election system, and it's likely the Secretary of State will mandate this recount in the coming weeks. We are not asking for this recount. It's one that the citizens of Colorado mandate through our election system. We believe in the integrity of elections in our great state of Colorado and are supportive of this recount to ensure continued faith in the security of our elections. However, the likelihood of this recount changing more than a handful of votes is very small, very, very small. It'd be disingenuous and unethical for us or any other group to continue to raise false hope and encourage fundraising for a recount. Colorado elections are safe, accurate, and secure. Please save your money for your groceries, your rent, your children, and for other important causes and organizations. I just got off the phone with Representative Boebert. I called her to formally concede this election. Please know that in the coming weeks, I will pause and reflect on this race, how I can continue to work for the people of Western and Southern Colorado and of this great nation. We all have a responsibility to work within our communities on behalf of our children and neighbors and return our country to a greater sense of unity and to protect our country from the extremists that divide us. I will reflect on what we have learned from speaking to all during this race and consider the outpouring of support we have received from folks in Colorado and all over the country. This election may be decided by my advocacy for Western and Southern Colorado, rural communities across the country, and the people of our great nation will never end. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.